It's the most boring time of the season. Hello mate, you alright? How's it going? Welcome back to this channel, Football Therapy, with me, host Jan. I do hope you're doing well. I really do hope that. Things are going well for the Chelsea. Generally, I think we're feeling good. The international break is hella boring, especially because it's not big Tommy Tukes yet. Multiple England international. I mean, obviously speaking as an England fan here, I recognise the majority of my viewership aren't English, but just indulge me for 20 seconds. 8 England players pulled out, which is frustrating. But yeah, I mean, Chelsea fans from all around the world would be interested to see how Thomas Tuchel does as England manager. But in the meantime, it's hella boring. Hopefully some Chelsea players do well, score some goals, keep some clean sheets, and the good times are going. But in today's video, guys, we are discussing, well, a couple of things, really. Firstly, a Jamie Carragher admission of being incorrect, which is nothing short of lovely. That silly knobby scouser. And also, a quote from Jason Cundy about Christopher Nkunku, huge talking point at the moment amongst the Chelsea faithful, and indeed, the footballing media at large. Is he unhappy? Is he gonna go? Can we fit him in? I've been speaking about it at length on my social media, Football Yannick, on Instagram, if you do want to follow me on there. I've been speaking about it at length, but I'm trying to think. He's an amazing footballer. He's an amazing finisher. I don't necessarily, disclaimer, I don't think this is gonna happen, but, will Enzo Maresca change his tactics in certain situations, circumstances to accommodate Nkunku? I'm not sure he would. Pochettino looked like he was going to build the whole darn attack around Christopher Nkunku the summer before last preseason, and of course until he got injured. But he soon learned that the one guy that you build this Chelsea team around is called Cole Jermaine Palmer, which has left Nkunku frustrated. But I do want to build a different system with you guys. Spoiler! Here on a footbin. To see how we get him in and who we'd have to sacrifice. Because let's be real, bro. We can play him as a striker against Noah all we want, but he's not at the elite level. He's not the right style profile of player to play a central lone centre forward. I don't like him being farmed out on the left, neither does Maresca. He wants conventional wingers. And it's important to note, I've been saying it, that the number 10 or the pocket players behind the forwards, generally Enzo Maresca is looking for creative sort of players like Palmer and Joao Felix. He's already nailed his colours to that mast, saying they're the two players like that. Of course, Nkunku's best position is slightly reserved in the pocket off a main striker, which you could argue is in that position, but he's a finisher of move. He wants to make late darts into the box, finish, score goals. He's an amazing finisher, so it doesn't really suit that. So I've made an idea. It's not, groundbreaking or exclusive, but I want to build a lineup together. So we're going to do that together, you and I, after we speak about some quotes. As always, guys, thank you for joining me. I think we're so close to 190k subscribers. Like, we're tens of people off now. So if you're yet to subscribe and you return to this channel, why not click subscribe, mate? If you watch for this ruddy, ugly mug all the time, you might as well click subscribe. And if you're new, please do consider doing so. Okay, we're going to do this. First of all, I just want to quickly read some quotes from Jamie Carragher, I believe, on a football podcast. He was asked about Chelsea. Of course, he was one of these people, the naysayers, about how scattergun transfer approach is a circus over there. No one knows what we're doing. What are they doing hiring a championship manager? Jamie Carragher says this: I think the manager has done a brilliant job, to be honest, and I have been proven wrong with Chelsea this season. I didn't see this. I thought it would be chopping and change. I thought with all the chopping of changing of players, there was a talk about players leaving at the start of the season, but you go to a Chelsea game and you almost know what the team is. I thought that would be a problem, having so many players, egos, and people causing trouble on the training pitch. But that doesn't seem to have happened. So, fair play to the manager, says the big silly scouser. And yeah, bro, fair play to the manager. He's done a wonderful job in that sense. Brutal early doors with what he was saying about certain players, if they're, if he's going to utilize them, if he's going to not. He was very, very stern, firm, fair/unfair, depending on your position. And he's done a great job. And people who love to watch Chelsea fail, they're just waiting for Chelsea to slip up so they can be like, see, they're not good. A lot of people, believe it or not, there's some Chelsea fans like that as well. But that's just on social media. It always happens, doesn't it? And yeah, people are starting to come around. But I did want to spend most of the time on this video speaking about Christo, mon garçon, Christopher Nkunku. Transition, please. Yes, again, I'm using the social media handle Cy Phillips at Cy Phillips Sport to cite quotes here. He's speaking about what Jason Cundy, of course, TalkSport host, pundit, former Chelsea man, said this on Christopher Nkunku. He had this to say. He had his chance against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup, which, by the way, was a big game. I know it was B team, but it was the strong B team against good opposition. He had his chance against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup, and he was disappointing. I mean, that is true. When those opportunities come, you've got to make sure you take them. We've seen in the Conference League he can score goals. It was very noticeable that he didn't celebrate the goals he scored against Noah. He must be incredibly frustrated, but right now I can't make a case for him being in the team. I just can't naturally put him in right now. Excuse me. Which is what I'm here to talk about. For the aforementioned reasons in this video, I do align myself with Jason Cundy stylistically and profile-wise. I do also have sympathy for Christopher Nkunku because he was an elite player. He came to Chelsea to play. He's not done anything to suggest otherwise that he's not elite. Yes, he didn't play well against Newcastle, but again, he's playing with a team that they haven't had that much time to gel. Yes, it's got quality, the B team, and that B team could have been Newcastle. It just could have done, but it's still not as... You still don't have Moises Caicedo. You still don't have the better centre-backs. Do you know what I mean? You still don't have Cole Palmer. It's a significant drop-off. Like, there was a point of the season, early doors, where some Chelsea fans were saying, it'd be really interesting to see, like, an A team versus B team broadcasted match. Do you know what I mean? Like, of course you'd be like, oh, well. Especially when Neto was in the B team, and it was like, they could still be on an off day, the B team will win. So it was super quality. He did disappoint in that Newcastle game, but again, he was asked to play as a centre forward against that Newcastle backline, that first choice Newcastle backline. He's not a striker, or he's not a lone striker, and as things stand, it is a lone striker system with Enzo Maresca at Chelsea. Unless he does change. Now, again, caveat, disclaimer, I'm not asking him to do this because it's going well. Not only is he have his idea as he calls it and it's going well, but he has shown tactical flexibility to a degree with not just inverting fullbacks, but inverting number 10s from fullback and, playing conventional fullbacks as well, which is something he wasn't doing at Leicester. So he has shown tactical flexibility. It's not for me to tell him to rip it up entirely to try and accommodate a frustrated Nkunku. But we're going to play a game here all the same to say how theoretically would it work with this Chelsea team. So the way we're doing it, I was thinking of 4-4-1-1, but we're not going to do it like that. We're going to start with Christopher Nkunku. Here he is, Christopher Nkunku. Now, he will technically be about there, okay? So this isn't a pocket player like Joao Felix or Cole Palmer. This is not going deep. This is playing off another striker, waiting to dart in, combine, do little 1-2s, maybe drag some players out. Not like a winger. He's not a winger on either side, okay? He's not a central lone striker that holds the ball up and plays in dribbly wingers or whatever. And in Maresca's system, he's not a creative number 10 that play makes. He is a direct towards goal, go, 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 go. Very, very effective. I'm not trying to make him like this limited player. He can play other roles, but for him to be this world-class player, which he is, he kind of needs to be in this specific role, right? This is what we know about Christopher Nkunku. So we're going to start with him there. Okay, now this is a 4-4-2 formation. So let's build it. Let's reluctantly and begrudgingly put Robert Sanchez in goal. This is going to be the first team, naturally. So we're going to do the first team centre-backs. Wesley Fofana and Levi Colwill, the young centre-back partnership that we're going to cultivate. We are not going to be inverting a fullback. We're going to have two central... spoilers, there's going to be a double six. So we don't so much need to invert a fullback. Fullbacks can invert in certain phases of play. That's up to Enzo Maresca. But this is not going to be a mandatory thing here. So Cucurella is going to play. And he can get forward. He can get forward. He can defend well. He can help Colwill. There's all these players. There's a front four. Cucurella can stay back and defend. Now, it's going to be Reece James as right back, the captain of Chelsea, big, strong, better one-on-one defender than Gusto, even though Gusto is good. With a right mid and front, he will get forwards like Cucurella, with the two CDMs covering in the middle. Hold your horses here. But yeah, that is the back four, and probably Chelsea's long-term cultivating back four choice. The sort of like, they're all youngish. I mean, like Cucurella's 26. How old's Reece James? Reece James, I'm going to quickly check. Because Reece James is going to be, what, 24? Is he 25 now? Because he's 24. So he does actually turn 25 on the 8th of December. So, yeah, less than a month. So it's still young enough to be... With him and Cucurella like entering their prime, Colwill and Fofana still being very young, we shan't be talking about Robert Sanchez. Of course, Caicedo, absolutely one of the first names on the team sheet, especially if you're playing a formation like this. You will need protection in the midfield. And because of that, we obviously got to persevere with our boy Romeo Lavia. Big conversations of late about Enzo Fernandez getting him back in the team and the quality, that he has. And maybe, obviously, in the other formation, he might come back in or whatever. But for the moment, it's those two. Now, I personally think he does his best work coming inside. But in this formation, to accommodate Christopher Nkunku, we are going for Cole Palmer there. I want Cole Palmer here. I think it's better if... I'm hoping, because when you're a right winger, you've got to really hold the width rather. But because I'm just hoping a formation like that, I just don't see him being as effective here. I know we had good games at right wing, but this is slightly different because there's two strikers. So you've got to accommodate a deeper channel here for Nkunku, a sort of big man to come off as well, and then he'll be farmed out even wider. But you have to get Palmer into the team, and you can't play Palmer on the left as a left, because that will be completely nullifying him. And of course, left mid, it has to be Neto, because he's the form winger, so he has to play left there. It's annoying because he cannot even swap with the guy on the right flank, because it's not like Sancho could swap. Basically, you could have a Neto there on the right on his favoured position, and then a Sancho on the left. But maybe even right. If Chelsea fans would be like, why aren't you starting Neto? Maybe you don't. Maybe you start Jadon Sancho because he actually looks like he's got a great relationship with Cucurella in the first 3 games of the season. Cucurella was underlapping Sancho, and Sancho was like, thank you very much, getting 3 assists, winning a penalty. I have a feeling Sancho actually would play really well with Nkunku. But suddenly, guys, you got a problem, because you've got no Pedro Neto. You've got Cole Palmer playing in a very, very weakened position for his talents, and he is like the guy for Chelsea. And of course, Nkunku wants to play off a striker. His best work is the little man to a big man. And I do think Jackson could do that absolutely fine. And there he is. So that would be the front two. You're getting Chelsea's two good forwards into the team. So Jackson would sort of play there, and Nkunku would sort of play there as a second shadow striker, playing off him. You'd have creation from both Sancho and Palmer. If they find that could be effective there, that could be a really good team. Of course, no Enzo Fernandez, no Pedro Neto. You could play Pedro Neto out of position on the left. It's really, one of those there. Neto could start instead of Sancho. I wouldn't say Madueke start over Palmer, though Madueke stylistically would make more sense, because Madueke likes to be a chalk on his boots winger. He's a bit like Bukayo Saka in that sense. He wants to be out here, whereas Palmer wants to be here. But this is the only way I could kind of think about it. It's a lot of four out and out sort of attackers there, but you've got great solidity from this functional and defensive double six. And of course, Cucurella, great relationship with Sancho, underlapping Reece James. I want to see Reece James properly play down that flank, and he could, if Reece James gets forward, guys, like here, putting in crosses for Jackson, or even in Nkunku, he can come for a cross. Then if James is going up here, do you know what that means? Palmer can go whoop to his favourite pocket. Lavia could kind of, to be honest, you could kind of make a lopsided, what do you call it, midfield free. So Lavia could drop deep. Caicedo, who can operate in these areas. I think for Ecuador, he's played as a number 10. So Lavia can dip down, and then Palmer can, Palmer can go into this pocket here if Reece goes forwards. But a lot of the time, there's going to be, and obviously if that happens, everyone moves over. Cucurella tucks into a back three. It could happen. I just think it's just nothing more than a thought experiment at the moment. Of course, that's an elite team, guys. Look at that front four. And again, interchange Sancho with Neto all you want. That is, but I just don't think you're getting the best out of a Palmer. I wouldn't think you'd be getting the best out of Neto, hence me putting Sancho in here. And, but it could be worth it. What if it did work with Palmer? He found space to come inside. He was playing assists. We just saw this devastating partnership between Nkunku and Jackson. And they linked up really well, and the defense was protected well by these guys, and Cucurella was inverting a little bit, and everything was fine, and Reece James was back to his best, putting in assists and scoring. Remember, Gusto was getting in positions to score last season, and this season just can't score for toffee. Reece James can score goals. It's a sexy idea. I just don't think it's gonna happen personally. But it's a fun thing to do. So let me know, do you enjoy this kind of content? Because I certainly enjoy making it. So I hope you guys enjoy watching it, and it creates discussion points down in the comment section below. As always, I'll thank you for joining me. I'll thank you for liking, and I'll thank you for subscribing. I love you all very much, and I do hope to see you back here soon. All right then, peace.